Had to figure out the tripod.
Yeah, I'm all done.
Rewind.
Are you ready? Jason, how you doing?
Good morning, great.
All right, great to see you again.
See you.
Well, appreciate you giving me the time to come out and talk to you a little bit about your network. And what I'd like to do real quickly is just go through some numbers. Charter is very important for us to not just provide our customers a solution, but understand the solution that that particular customer truly needs. So the first thing I'd like to do is throw up three numbers and see what these numbers mean to you. Okay.
How much?
Well, let's get into it a little bit deeper and see if we can make some impact. First number here is 29%. This is a number that we actually received from a Cisco industry report in terms of the compounded annual growth rate for your bandwidth needs. Second number is actually a number that's very costly to your business. $150,000. You know where that would come from?
No.
A report out by Business Week states that this is the annual cost of downtime to businesses such as yourself.
Wow.
And that number could be made up of several different things. A lot of customers and prospects that I speak to think of, how many customers am I losing? But we also think about, what the labor is you're putting into, curing this, the time and materials that you could be spending on outside vendors. There's a number of things that go into this number that make it really, what I think is a very conservative number for businesses out there, especially on an annual basis. The last number is 86%. Jason, what happened the last time you called a new potential vendor that you were considering doing business with, and you couldn't access them on the web or by telephone?
I assume they were out of business. I had to move on. I don't have time to wait.
Do you think your customers do the same thing?
No, now you say that, probably so.
All right, and that's where this number comes from. 86% of your customers will do business with somebody else if they can't reach you the first time. All right, now let's take a look at this another way, Jason. Today you're managing a network as an IT manager. You told me before you wrote directly up to the CFO. And of course what the CFO doing is trying to figure out ways to make the business, and what that ends up to you is initiatives, correct?
Of course.
All right. So you've already told me some initiatives that you've ran over the last couple of years. You guys have centralized the network. You guys have brought in video, brought in voice over IP. Your next path of initiatives is going to bring on cloud. It's going to bring on some type of offsite backup that you were mentioning to me was very important to your business. And then obviously there's a number of things that haven't even come down to the pipe to you yet. During this last contract that you signed, you told me you started with that carrier at 3 megabits. And you did that through a combination of bonded T1s.
Right.
All right? So you were able to get some dedicated bandwidth. You were able to get some sort of SLA out of it. And you got what you figured was a scalable solution. But you've also told me during the course of that contract that you've had to upgrade to meet the continuing demands of your network twice. And what's happened with each of those upgrades is it's cost you more money,
Yeah.
and it's added time to what you're doing. It's taken time away from your core business. And you've always had the concerns with each of these upgrades of, will it suffice my needs? Will I be risking downtime? And is my carrier going to force me to go through 20 phone calls to get what I need from them? And the reason I mention that is I actually just left another one of our customers. We just signed them, and this was the #1 reason. They were saying just what an effort it took their business just to reach their current provider. And you told me that's been some sort of a pain point for you guys. Is that correct?
It is. There's a lot of finger pointing.
Finger pointing? All right. And you're doing business with a CLEC today?
Yeah.
All right. Well, at Charter, we like to look at things a little bit differently. First thing we want to do is get you off of the stair-step approach, because there's only so many steps that you're going to be able to go up before you're finally maxed out on top. All right. So the way we look at this is if we can build a direct line between where you are now and what you'll need in the future, and minimize your cost, risk, and uncertainty about these moves, then we feel like we can, that's freezing, we feel like we're going to have a situation here that's going to be much better than the situation that you have today. And what I mean by that is, Jason, what if you had the possibility of unlimited bandwidth in your network? Would that be something that would be a positive impact for your business? Okay. What if we could get you to the situation of, I lost my train of thought, where you're dealing with one owner of the network?
Nice.
Okay. You talked about the finger pointing earlier.
Right.
You know, do you feel like that situation dealing with one company who owns the entire piece of the services that they're providing to you would be a benefit in that direction?
What does that mean?
What it basically means is, as opposed to the CLEC environment that you're in today, where the CLEC has some sort of network, most of the time just to the local central office, and from that central office they're reselling AT&T, Verizon, whoever may be the incumbent carrier in your area, you know, to get that last portion of service to you. We also understand that through the outages that you mentioned to me in the conversation, that that's actually the place in the network that you've had the most problems. You know, the outdated copper. You talked to me about, you know, when it rains, your telephone lines, your data service goes down. That's very inherent with copper type technologies. So do you understand what I mean by that now, with the one owner and the benefit that it can mean to your business? And the last is, we don't feel like having any of our customers making 20 phone calls to reach us is a way to create a long-term relationship with any business or organization that's doing business with Charter. So what we're going to do is give you one number to call should you ever need anything from Charter Business. Well, Jason, this isn't something that we just wrote up on the board today. This is something that we've done many times at Charter Business. In fact, the customer that I was talking about earlier, we were just able to take those guys from 3 megs to 10 megs, offer them an SLA that provides 99.97 reliability all the way to their closet, to their data closet. And I always change this at the end. We didn't blow the budget out of the water by doing so.
Very nice.
So is this something that, as McTell, that you'd be interested in?
I'm interested.
Absolutely. So Jason, what's the next step from here?
Give me a contract?
Absolutely. I can have that in your email in 30 seconds.
There you go.